Hello and welcome to Sports Fan Entertainment, here to discuss 3 more NFL head coaching hires. Only 2 more to go. 3 came down the pipeline today. We will discuss them, and let's start with Adam Gase. Adam Gase stays in the AFC East. He will be headed to the New York Jets to help save Sam Darnold's career, although it doesn't need saving. I mean, Sam Darnold had a fine rookie season, but to elevate him to the level of franchise quarterback the New York Jets believe he can be, and that he showed he can be in his rookie season. What are my thoughts on this? Now, my overall philosophy when it comes to these head coaching hires, when it comes to guys that have not been head coaches before, is I don't know, we'll see. And we're going to get to that when it comes to Vic Fangio and Freddie Kitchens. But for Adam Gase, we've seen Adam Gase, and I'm mixed on Adam Gase. I really want to love Adam Gase, and for the most part, I like Adam Gase. I'll say my approval rating on Adam Gase is about 65%. I'm not 80%, I'm not 90%, but for the most part, I like him. Now, what do I like, what do I dislike? First of all, I like the fact that he has Peyton Manning backing him every day of the week, right? Peyton Manning will tell anyone from this guy to that guy, from anyone in the crowd, from anyone that calls him, from his mama to his kids, that Adam Gase is a very smart mind and a very good offensive coordinator. And when you have the stamp of approval from the greatest football minds that we've ever seen, you have piqued my interest, and Adam Gase has certainly done that. Moreover, from what I've seen from Adam Gase's offensive coordinator, I've seen very good things as an offensive coordinator, right? He helped Peyton Manning go to that 55 passing touchdown season with the Denver Broncos, and also being the number 2 offense the year after that. And he also got the best year ever out of Jay Cutler, leading Jay Cutler to 21 touchdowns to 11 interceptions. That was very shocking to see, and even getting a little something out of him out of retirement during the 2017 season, and leading the Dolphins to some wins when people like me projected them to go like 4-12 after the news that Ryan Tannehill went down with the torn ACL. So I like all of that stuff. What do I dislike? Well, here's the fact of the matter. The Dolphins' offenses in the past 3 years have not been good. I mean, you're talking about the best Miami Dolphins offense ranking in the past 3 years is 25. And this year, I want to say they ranked 30th in total offense, and he really hasn't developed anything offensively for the Miami Dolphins. Now, he's led Ryan Tannehill to some decent seasons. In fact, this season was pretty decent outside of Ryan Tannehill's injury. But you look at the running back position, they thought Kenyon Drake was going to be something, but they really couldn't use him, so they ended up using Frank Gore. And, I mean, why are you using Frank Gore at this stage? They weren't able to develop Devontae Parker or Leonte Carew or other young guys that they drafted over the years. Jarvis Landry was actually developed, but then they let him go. The tight end position has been a joke for the Miami Dolphins for years at this point. Offensive line, Larry Tunsil was not developed into being the all-pro tackle people thought it was going to be. So a lot of issues, and I look at the Dolphins offense and I'm like, okay, this guy was here for 3-4 years, and what is there really to show? I mean, is there anything that he left in terms of infrastructure, in terms of anything that we can really look at and say, wow, Adam Gase left a positive stamp on this football team? I don't know about that. Defensively, he certainly didn't do anything for the Dolphins, right? He doesn't do much in terms of the defensive side of the football. So what is going to be his imprint on the New York Jets? Now, I still think he did a pretty damn decent job with the Miami Dolphins. I mean, leading them to a 23-25 record, leading them to the playoffs the first year, going 10-6. I thought he got more wins out of them than they had personnel-wise. But the fact that you still look at them statistically and their stats weren't there, and you're leaving and you're like, okay, so did he develop any offensive talent or what? And you just say no, you know, that concerns me. So I have my concerns with Adam Gase. I thought he should have had 1 more year to really prove himself as an offensive coordinator again before getting another head coaching job. But I think it'll be fine. I just don't know if this is really going to be the Super Bowl coach for you, right? That's my main question. I feel like he's going to be about the same thing, right? And hopefully he can lead Sam Darnold to being better than Ryan Tannehill. But right now, I'm just unsure on that. You know, I just haven't seen him lead anyone to great success except for Peyton Manning, who was already a great quarterback as is. So I'm mixed on this Adam Gase hiring. So let's get to the other 2 guys. Let's start with Vic Fangio, the new head coach for the Denver Broncos, former defensive coordinator for multiple teams, Houston Texans a while back, and currently, or last season, the Chicago Bears. Now, Vic Fangio is a guy I've been looking at for a while. Okay, this guy has been coaching defenses very well. The only thing the Bears have had to show for the past 4 seasons have been their defense. I know their offense was decent this year, but their defense has been their mainstay for the past 4 years, right? And you see Vic Fangio at the helm there. This guy has been around the league. I have no problem with this hiring. I love this hiring, right? When everyone's getting these young, quote-unquote, attractive, offensive minds, right? These guys, instead of zigging, they zagged. They went for the defensive guy. And I think you guys could have a Ron Rivera type head coach here. I really do believe that. He's been around the league. He's a veteran in the league. And you're also talking about bringing in Gary Kubiak to be your offensive coordinator. And we know how good Gary Kubiak can be as an offensive coordinator. And he's going to be returning to Denver here, where he led you guys to a Super Bowl as the head coach. I think that's a brilliant duo. Now, there's still work to do offensively, right? We're going to have Emmanuel Sanders coming off of an injury. We're straight away Demaryius Thomas. Finally, the offensive line is a little up and down. We're not sure what we have at quarterback. I think you guys should move on from Keenum, but that's just my personal opinion. But we do have some nice things in terms of the running back position. Phillip Lindsay, this guy ended up being our best running back. We thought it was going to be Royce Freeman, but we still have Royce Freeman. So there's things to like there. And then defensively, Von Miller, hopefully you guys don't trade him. I don't know what this trade talk is. This is absolutely ridiculous to me. Do not make a John Gruden mistake. Please, I don't want to see this again. Bradley Chubb had 12 sacks in his rookie season, so you see things developing there. You're going to have a high draft pick. I think you're picking number 10, right? You guys can get another defensive stud or pick a quarterback there potentially. So I think the Broncos here may have had the best head coaching signing yet. I know everyone's, in love with Cliff Kingsbury and Matt LaFleur, but this guy's been around the league. They're bringing in Gary Kubiak to be the offensive coordinator. I like the mix here. John Elway's going to have to draft a little bit better, but I really like the mix here. And again, I don't know how he's going to be as a head coach in terms of the day-to-day operations. I don't know, right? We can't know with these guys that have not coached before. I don't want to judge them too much, but I like it, right? In terms of resume, I like it. And then finally, we have Freddie Kitchens being promoted from the offensive coordinator, interim offensive coordinator, to being the head coach for the Cleveland Browns. And again, guys, we just don't know, right? And although I can look at Vic Fangio's resume and I see a lot on it, I don't see too much on Freddie Kitchens. And that's not to say he hasn't been in the league, right? He was tight ends coach for the Arizona Cardinals for 5 years and then ended up being quarterbacks coach, promoted there, sticking with the staff, right? So I like that Bruce Arians came into Arizona, said, okay, Ken Whisenhead's staff, you're out of here, but hey, I like this Freddie Kitchens guy. Let's keep him as quarterbacks coach. So he becomes from tight ends coach to quarterback coach. So I like that step approval from Bruce Arians. I like that. And then he comes over to the Cleveland Browns, gets promoted to offensive coordinator, and does a very good job with Baker Mayfield. Only problem is that's such a very small window that we saw there. I mean, what was that, like 8, 9 games? We just don't know much from that. Yeah, I mean, I've watched some press conferences with the guy. I mean, he seems like he knows football, but this is just a mystery. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and really be strong-minded either way. I think if anyone does that, they're being irresponsible. We just don't know. I mean, we really just don't know about this guy. We know he did a lot of good things in terms of the 9 or 10 games this season, but consider this. I mean, when you come in as an interim offensive coordinator, you're not changing the entire offense to being of your scheme, right? You're keeping the same terminology, keeping the same verbiage. You might integrate some of your new terminology into verbiage and some other plays. But what really changes is your state of play calling, your game planning heading into the game, how you're attacking certain defenses, how you're planning to proceed offensively throughout the entire game, making adjustments, etc. In terms of a new offense, that's not going to be implemented. You may implement some concepts, but not a new offense. It's pretty much the same Browns offense. It was just implemented in a different way. So, is he going to remain with that? Is he going to bring in a new system? Did he know enough of the old system to where he can really, stick with that? Or is he going to have to bring in more of his own concepts? And then how will those concepts and those components integrate with this Browns offense? We don't know that, people. I mean, we really don't. So, I mean, I'm okay with it. I may have preferred like a Mike McCarthy or someone more veteran, but it turns out he really wanted to be considered anyway. So we'll see. I think it's just a big we'll see. I don't know if we can feel either way. I would have felt more comfortable with a guy that had a little more on his resume, a little more proven years. We don't really know much about this guy, so we'll see. I'm encouraged, but we just have to see on this guy. I'm sorry, that's just the analysis there. So with that said, those are my thoughts on the 3 new head coaches, on Adam Gase, Vic Fangio, and Freddie Kitchens. What are your thoughts? Comment down below. I want to know. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like, comment, and most importantly, to subscribe. And until next time, this has been MJ of Sports Fan Entertainment, and I'm out. See you all later.